Welcome to the Customer Management IQ video interview series. I'm your host, Corey Bennett, and we are on site at the 3rd Annual Customer Experience Summit in Miami Beach, Florida. Joining me right now is Kate Padahusky, who is the Senior Product Manager of Mobile at Cars.com. Her presentation this morning was called Crafting a 360-Degree Mobile Brand Experience. Kate, thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, no problem.
So I know mobile engagement, mobile customer feedback emerging constantly right now. Can you explain some of the ways that customer feedback has gone mobile and some of the most prominent forms of mobile customer feedback that you are currently using at Cars.com?
Right, so one of our main ways of just getting feedback back to us, we have a support team that provides any information on any app issues or improvements that people want to make. But one important, very important role is the actual marketplace. So customers love to rate apps and just add any general improvements, any problems that they see within the actual iTunes market or Android market. So we are very, very rigorously checking what people say in those marketplaces.
And one of the tough things with mobile engagement is actually knowing who your mobile customer is. What are some of the ways that you've used to determine who that mobile customer base is?
Right, so as I mentioned this morning, we at Cars.com use 2 different forms. We are going out and doing mobile surveys, so we put a survey within the applications and on our mobile site that will inform us to who our user is. So it gives us demographic information and what they're actually doing on the mobile site. The other way is user testing. So we invite users to come to our offices and play with our applications. We'll put the application on their phone and then just let them go at it. Don't aid them in any way, just see how they work with the application.
And people are happy and willing to do this?
With a $5 Starbucks gift card.
Of course, there we go. There's the caveat.
Right.
So the other interesting part is this is such a new and interesting field, but there's also a lot of questions in how to house it and how to create a team to manage it. What are your best practices in creating a team that is going to manage your mobile engagement department or efforts?
Right, so at Cars, we actually have a dedicated team of mobile resources. So we have myself who's managing the product. We have an interaction designer who's working on user experience, usability. We have a designer who is taking that interaction designer's input and putting it into the design of the application or mobile site. And then we have a developer who is working on coding our applications and mobile site.
Interesting. And what are some of the struggles or pitfalls that you have seen while trying to make it more robust, and what are some of the lessons learned from these struggles you've experienced monitoring mobile engagement?
So the main problem is timing. So it's a lot of work, a lot of effort to create these mobile applications. So the resources that we have, even though we have a dedicated team, sometimes aren't enough. So we have to outsource, use vendors to help us create these applications and manage that way. Another problem is reporting. So industry standard reporting isn't the best. Mobile isn't up to the wired site standards and reporting. So right now we're working internally how to develop better reporting and what to include in the applications to track what our users are doing.
And what is some of that process to determine internally how to do better reporting?
We've gotten a lot of requests from dealers. So our dealers are actually using our mobile applications on their own and coming back to us and saying, you know, we'd love to see how many times our listing appears on the application, something we don't track right now. So we're going back and putting that tracking mechanism into our applications.
So that's definitely something that's very specific to your industry. How do you think that can become a general suggestion or a general piece of advice for across industries?
Well, I think, so for us, people wouldn't consider the dealers our users, they just assume it's consumers. So just users in general giving that feedback and coming to you and saying, you know, it would be great if you could add this. With tracking wise, I think just usage overall, so what people are doing is going to provide a lot of value. How many people are going through pages, how many times they're coming to the application or site, that's going to be really valuable to decide what other metrics you need to put in.
Certainly. It's an interesting trend and one that will change a lot in the coming year. What are some of the main ways you see it changing in the next year, just mobile engagement?
So right now, tablets are the buzz.
Yeah.
I was just at a conference and they said 82 are supposed to launch.
Wow.
Within the next year. So tablets are huge right now. A lot of people don't really consider it mobile. It's often on what is mobile, what's not, but I think tablets are definitely in the mobile marketplace. One thing that's going to be interesting to see is how Android can come back against the iPad. iPad is the tablet to compete with.
Sure.
Right now, Android's not there. So one thing that I'm paying attention to is when Android tablets will be at the same level and when we will need to build out applications for those devices.
Your personal opinion, will Android catch up with the iPad? I mean, they certainly had some success in the phone world.
Right, it's tough. It's going to be really hard to compete with the iPad, and they have great marketing. That marketing is amazing. So it's really, that plays on the emotions of the consumer instead of actual device capabilities, which they still are great at that, but Android still offers the same device capabilities. It's just not, you're not appealing to that consumer who wants that iPad status.
It's definitely true. Well, thanks so much for sharing your insight today.
Oh, no
I appreciate
problem.
It. All right, thanks. And for our viewers, you can check out more of our videos at customermanagementiq.com. Once again, I'm your host, and until next time, thanks for watching.